So I know some people, y'all, that are deathly afraid of the water. Not necessarily like drinking water or water from the faucet. I'm talking about like water in the lake or the ocean, like swimming and that stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's very scary to get into water that you can't see the bottom of or even can't see through the water because of fish or alligators and stuff like that. But if you look at the thumbnail today, you'll know that, man, if anything like that was in the ocean, I mean, there are some things that's kind of like that big, I mean, but not like that. Nothing like that. I'd never get in the ocean if I knew that was for real. We're gonna react to it today, guys. This is SCP-1128 Aquatic Horror. It's by SCP Exposed. Make sure to subscribe to him. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos. And let's get into this one.
The relentless ringing of the alarm clock woke the boy from his deep sleep. He reached out his hand and tried to find the clock.
Good morning.
It was 5 a.m. For a few seconds, he just sat there staring at it, wondering why on earth he had set his alarm for so early.
I mean, I wake up
But then
at
he
4
felt
o'clock
excitement
every day.
inside as he remembered what day it was. Today, he was going fishing for the first time with his uncle at the port. He ran downstairs and grabbed a piece of toast before rushing out of the house. The early morning sunshine was surprisingly warm. When he arrived at the port, he saw that his uncle was already beginning to set up the fishing rods. He sat down on the chair next to his uncle and picked up the rod.
I love fishing.
"Remember, Jason," said his uncle, "don't take your eyes off the float for a single second or you will lose your fish." Jason sat there, his eyes glued to the bobbing float. Suddenly, the float dipped under the water.
Set the hook, boy. Pull it up.
He jerked the fishing rod up in the air, but there was nothing there. "You'll have to be quicker than that," his uncle said. Jason put some more bait on the hook and cast the line again. He was determined not to let the next catch get away.
Catch a little catfish, bro.
He sat for what seemed like hours, staring at the bobbing float. He was about to give up hope of ever catching anything when the float dipped under the water again. He quickly pulled up the rod.
Pop it!
Yes, there was definitely something on the end this time, and it
That's
felt
a hard
really
pull.
big.
It is
he was
really
doing
big.
his best to bring the fish in, but
It's enormous,
it was putting
in
up
fact.
a huge fight. Suddenly, the float sped across the water at lightning speed. Jason didn't stand a chance.
No.
The force pulled him out
Wow,
of his chair
let
and
go of the
straight
rod,
into
boy.
the water.
You
As
crazy?
he went under, he saw something that made his heart go cold. A huge monster was in the water, staring straight at him. All he could see was gigantic, sharp teeth, and they seemed to be getting closer and closer.
No,
Fear
swim
sent
away.
adrenaline pumping through his body.
I guess so.
He swam faster than he
How
ever had
fast you can
before.
swim?
When he got to the side,
there
his
was something
uncle
like
pulled
that.
him out of the water.
Of course
He
they can
looked in
catch you.
terror at the water. What had he just seen? He was just about to tell his uncle what was in the water when
Did it
two
jump
men
out?
came walking towards him.
Oh,
They had
SCP.
serious looks on their faces. "We have been conducting
Foundation.
research in this area," one of them said. "Did you see something in the water?" Jason nodded.
Yes.
"We think you may
Amnestics.
have been infected," the other one said. "You will need to be sedated." Jason looked at them
Oh
in
my.
horror. He was about to ask them what they meant by infected when
Too
he
late.
felt a needle being injected into his arm.
That's it.
He closed his eyes sleepily.
Yep.
Welcome back to SCP Exposed.
Wow.
Today we bring you Euclid class subject SCP-1128,
Okay.
otherwise known as the Aquatic Horror.
The aquatic.
But before I go on, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you
We
won't
will,
miss
buddy.
out on any
I'm
more
subscribed.
creepy
I don't miss
SCP
anything.
stories.
For real.
SCP-1128 is an entity that manifests as a massive aquatic predator to
Sure.
anyone given a full description of the being's appearance through
Big
either
teeth,
spoken
too.
or written descriptions or
Oh.
visual depictions of the being.
Okay.
Persons infected by SCP-1128 will initially exhibit no abnormal behavior,
All
though
right.
some cases show a general aversion to activities involving bodily immersion in water, such as
course.
bathing or swimming.
Swimming.
Should the
anything.
subject ever be
I
fully
mean,
immersed in water, they
I
will
would guess
disappear
so.
completely under the surface of the water, regardless of the water's actual depth.
Oh.
In most cases, subjects will reappear moments later in a panicked state and frantically
they
try
see
to
it?
leave the water, while in some other cases, the water will become polluted with blood and debris, confirmed to be the remains of the subject.
Oh my.
Subjects that have reappeared intact claim that they were transported to a vast ocean where they are pursued by SCP-1128.
Right.
Interviews with these individuals carry some risk of further SCP-1128 contamination, as descriptions of the being's appearance trigger further infections. The infection can be treated with Class C amnestics, as it appears memory of the entity or descriptions of it are required for its anomalous properties to take effect.
Weird.
Written descriptions or imagery of SCP-1128's appearance, or videos of the entity breaching found outside the Foundation are to be destroyed.
Sure.
And Class C amnestics are to be administered to anyone exposed to such information or showing signs of SCP-1128 contamination. Tests involving D-1732, who had been used for repeated SCP-1128 testing without administration of amnestics, was shown to be able to encounter the entity in bodies of water, normally insufficient for bodily immersion.
Crazy.
This effect became more drastic over time, with D-1732 developing progressively stronger hydrophobic tendencies, claiming to see the entity from outside almost any body of water encountered by the subject.
Pictures and stuff.
A few days after his initial exposure, D-1732 was violently pulled into a glass of water. No remains were recovered from the incident. Staff witnessing the event were found to be infected by SCP-1128 and were treated with Class C amnestics. Containment procedures were then updated to include videos and descriptions of this event, and testing involving extended infection of D-Class was terminated. A written description of the entity's appearance is to be kept at the site for experimental purposes only, and is not to be read by anyone other than D-Class used for testing. If exposed, staff are to report immediately for administration of Class C amnestics. Tracking devices affixed to D-Class used in SCP-1128 experiments reveal that submerged subjects are transported to an ocean, the location of which is only known by senior Foundation personnel. One of these personnel was heard to say, "That's where we've been sending those D-Class? How does a short-range wireless communicator get such a clear signal from that far away?" Mobile Containment Force Kappa 12, otherwise known as Sea Devils, has been assigned to intercept and redirect any and all water traffic that passes through their designated patrol area by any means necessary. Testing with infected D-Class have shown that wireless communication devices function normally when used by submerged subjects affected by SCP-1128.
Interesting.
In Experiment Log A-1128A-1, a D-Class subject was instructed to read from a small pamphlet describing SCP-1128's appearance. He was then outfitted with diving gear and lowered into a large tub of water via winch and cable. The subject's gear was outfitted with a wireless communication device to allow contact between himself and the Foundation personnel, and to test if the SCP had any effect on such devices. The following is a transcript of the interview held with the D-Class subject. The interview was conducted by one of the Foundation's highest level doctors. "Can you hear me? Over," said the doctor. "I hear you, Doc. Damn, this thing is deep. It looks so tiny from the outside," replied D-Class. "How well is your reception? Over." "Good enough, I guess. Kind of fuzzy, but not enough that I can't hear what you're saying." "What is your current status?" "Right now, I'm just sinking to the bottom of... Is this the ocean? How the hell did you manage to fit an entire ocean inside a stinking bathtub?" "Irrelevant, D-Class. What are your surroundings?" "I just said ocean, damn it. There's fish and everything. Don't you guys know what the hell's inside your own oof?" "What happened?" I'm fine. I just hit the bottom. Looks like I've landed on a patch of seaweed or something." "What are your surroundings?"
"Seaweed?"
"Seaweed, mostly. Wait a second. It gets thinner to my right. Looks like there might be a drop-off that way. Should I go take a look?" "You may proceed." "Okay." D-Class grunts before continuing. "Damn suit's heavy. It's hard to move in this thing. Hey, is this thing soundproof? I hope my talking isn't scaring off any... Oh my god." D-Class responds. "What's your status?" I'm okay. I don't think it saw me. Damn, I think I pissed myself." "What happened? What did you see?" "Scariest damn thing I've ever seen.
Big old fish.
Some kind of big-ass monster."
An aquatic horror.
That's the thing from that stupid booklet you gave me, isn't it? Affirmative. Please refrain from describing it any further. What is it doing? Nothing right now. It's just swimming along. I think it's got something in its mouth. Is that a whale? Holy crap, it is. It's eating a whale.
That's
oh God, look at
big.
those teeth.
Holy.
The doctor turns to his assistant. "I think we're done here. Pull him out, now." The doctor then speaks again to the D-Class subject. "Thank you for your cooperation. We're bringing you up now." And now he swallowed it. Damn, that's gonna haunt my dreams. Wait, it stopped moving. I think it sees me.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's looking right at me. It's headed this way. Oh, God, help me. Get him out of there now. The D-class subject becomes hysterical. The Foundation is unable to decipher his gibberish.
Oh my God,
the personnel activated the winch to bring the D-class subject back to the surface. The winch was retracting at full speed when the cable went taut, wresting the winch from its mounting. The cable then went slack, and water became polluted with blood, which was later confirmed to be that of the D-class subject. No further remains or equipment were recovered. Interview log and relevant documents were edited for vectors.
Not even a whale was enough to satisfy that thing.
Were treated with Class C amnestics.
Sheesh.
In experiment log 1128A-2, a D-class subject was exposed to the entity and equipped with scuba gear. He was placed into a standard protective shark cage and lowered into the water. There was no response for a few seconds, but then the line first went taut and then was severed at a point beneath the water.
Of course.
Remains of D-class as well as jagged steel fragments, presumably remnants of the cage, surfaced shortly afterwards. In experiment log 1128A-3, the D-class subject was once again exposed to the entity and equipped with scuba gear. This time, the cage was treated by the Foundation personnel to increase its durability.
Okay.
The D-class subject was lowered into the water. The result was the same as before. However, this time, no remains surfaced.
Wow.
A few hours after the experiment, MCF Sea Devils reported finding an intact shark cage floating beneath the surface of the patrol area near one of their vessels.
Floating?
An item was retrieved, which later was confirmed to match the description of the cage used in experiment 1128A-3.
Okay.
The cage was undamaged, but it bore traces of human DNA and feces of an indeterminate origin.
Oh my
God.
God.
No further remains of the D-class were found.
It sucked it
in experiment log 1128A-4, an exposed D-class subject was equipped with diving gear and armed with a weapon for use against hostile organisms. Unlike previous tests, the subject was also equipped with a live feed video camera attached to his helmet. The video feed shows the weapon was ineffective against SCP-1128, appearing only to enrage the creature rather than harm it considerably or drive it away. Feed was lost when the D-class was devoured. Staff involved were treated with amnestics following transcription of the video feed. In experiment log 1128A-5, an exposed D-class subject was equipped with a protective environment suit and a video feed, and was lowered into a vat of milk to test the entity manifestation in liquids other than water. The substance was chosen for its low density, allowing free movement similar to walking in open air. The result was that the D-class subject recovered without incident. The liquid did not trigger SCP-1128's effect. The Foundation's doctor in charge of the testing on the entity gave the following report. Okay, so you might be safe from the thing in liquids other than water. But that probably won't help you much unless you intend to drink and bathe in exotic chemicals for the rest of your life.
It's true.
Which probably would get a lot shorter if you tried that. What did you think of that SCP case?
That's weird, dude. Very, very, very weird. Interesting, though. Like, the anomalous properties of being able to only be seen and interacted with after you're exposed to it, but then, like, extremely powerful, like being able to suck that D-class in through the glass and stuff. I don't know, guys. It's kind of crazy, but I guess that's what happened through the cage, too. At any rate, guys, this was really good. Make sure to subscribe to SCP Exposed. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos, too. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.